I've been really hooked on this game called Thumper recently, partially because it has one of the weirdest combinations of genres I've ever seen. It's part rhythm game and part horror, which really doesn't make any sense at first. If you look at basically every single successful rhythm game, they're all upbeat, lighthearted games. I mean, you've got Rock Band, Guitar Hero, Tap Tap Revenge, Parappa the Rapper. Just imagine a horror-themed Dance Dance Revolution, like it doesn't make any sense. So you obviously can't just slap a horror theme on one of these games and have it work. Thumper is very much its own thing. If you dig a little deeper, horror games and rhythm games are not as different as it seems like. Horror games are not only focused on, but reliant on sound design. You've probably heard people say before that if you want to make a scary game or a scary movie not scary anymore, you just turn the sound off. The sound is a huge part of what makes it immersive. While that's true for a lot of games, horror games and rhythm games in particular, you can immediately kill your immersion by turning off the music. So the music of Thumper is accomplishing two purposes at the same time. It's immersing you in this weird psychedelic world you're in, and it's shaping the obstacles in the track you're on. The songs aren't like songs you're used to listening to, but they're still clearly music, and the game still mechanically relates to the music. And by that I mean that songs typically have a hook and then a verse, sometimes at the same time, and then the chorus combines the hook and the verse together. Not the words of the verse, obviously, but the background notes of it. So in Thumper, the boss of each level actually shows up during what's essentially the hook of the song, often while you're learning new mechanics. Then the verse goes on for a while, which are just long sections of track, and then the boss comes back, combined with all the mechanics you know. The boss fight happens during the climax, or the chorus, of the song and level. So like I said before, if they just tried to put a horror theme on the traditional layout of notes scrolling down a screen, it probably wouldn't be very interesting. Thumper doesn't completely rework that system, but it changes it just enough. It makes a few very effective tweaks that make the whole game feel much more intense. For one thing, the notes aren't coming to you, you're moving forward, and very quickly. You're basically plunging headfirst into this barrage of obstacles. As you go along the track, the camera isn't a top-down sort of bird's eye view, instead it's zoomed in a lot more. It's so close to your character that it's almost cramped. That means that you can't see as much of the upcoming track. And while it does more or less have notes that you have to hit, one of the main note types is a wall that forces you to make a sharp turn. Once again, that means that you can't really see what's in front of you. Unlike most rhythm games, you can't anticipate what's coming up. This is added to by the fact that the songs are not exactly easy to follow pop songs. They can speed up and slow down out of nowhere, so you can't get too comfortable. Horror games are all about not knowing what to expect. Thumper takes the story, the gore, and even the jump scares out of horror and cranks up the atmosphere, and in my opinion, that's how it should be. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, and thank you for watching this episode of Breakdown.